The quantum detection array on Europa's southern ice shelf lit up like a Christmas tree. Dr. Sarah Chen stared at the readings in disbelief, her hands trembling as she triple-checked the data. After 15 years of scanning the cosmos for signs of intelligent life, they'd finally found something. And that something was heading straight for Earth. "Commander Hayes, you need to see this," she called out, her voice steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. The commander of the Europa research station appeared behind her, his weathered face reflected in the holographic display. The signal was unlike anything they'd ever seen, a perfectly modulated quantum wave that could only be artificial in origin. It carried a message, repeating in mathematical sequences that transcended any need for traditional language. Peace, contact, friendship. Within hours, Earth's governments mobilized. The United Earth Defense Council, normally fractious and divided, achieved unanimous agreement for the first time in its history. Humanity would respond with its own message of peace. 6 months later, the first Meridian ships appeared in high Earth orbit. They were beautiful, crystalline structures that seemed to flow like liquid metal, defying conventional physics. The aliens called themselves the Meridian Collective, a coalition of 7 spacefaring species that had achieved harmony through technological advancement and cultural exchange. Admiral James Rodriguez stood on the observation deck of the UES Endeavour, Earth's flagship, watching as the Meridian delegation approached for the first official meeting. "Remember," he told his crew, "we represent all of humanity today. Let's show them our best." The Meridians proved to be everything humanity had hoped for in first contact. They shared technological insights that revolutionized Earth's understanding of quantum mechanics. They helped establish humanity's first extrasolar colony on Kepler 186f, a world they named Nova Terra. Trade flourished, and cultural exchange programs brought alien art and music to Earth, while human creativity and innovation fascinated the Meridians. But not all was as it seemed. Dr. Marcus Wong, head of Novaterra's Quantum Research Division, was the first to notice the anomalies. Subtle variations in the Meridian's quantum signatures suggested they were hiding something. He compiled his findings carefully, encrypting them before transmission to Earth. The message never arrived. On July 15, 2157, Novaterra went dark. The colony of 50,000 souls simply vanished from all sensors. Initial reports suggested a catastrophic quantum containment failure in the colony's power core. "A tragic accident," the Meridians said, offering their condolences. But Lieutenant Diana Patel, a communications officer on the UES Vigilant, had intercepted something in the quantum noise just before Novaterra's destruction. A Meridian transmission, heavily encrypted. The humans advanced too quickly. The Council's decision is final. Containment protocols are authorized. When the truth emerged, it shattered humanity's trust in their new allies. The Meridians hadn't shared technology out of benevolence. They'd been studying humanity's rate of advancement, assessing the potential threat. Novaterra's destruction wasn't an accident. It was a calculated strike to slow humanity's progress. Admiral Rodriguez stood before the United Earth Defense Council, his voice heavy with controlled rage. "They thought they could test us, contain us, control our development like lab rats in a maze. They believed that by destroying Novaterra, they would teach us our place in the galaxy." He paused, looking each council member in the eye. They were wrong. In the depths of Europa Station, Dr. Chen accessed a quantum-encrypted database that even the Meridians didn't know existed. "Protocol Darkstar authorized," she typed, her security clearance unlocking files that had been waiting for this moment. Access granted to Project Phoenix. Across the solar system, hidden facilities began to power up. In the asteroid belt, beneath Mars' polar ice caps, and in the clouds of Venus, humanity's insurance policy against alien betrayal stirred to life. Earth had never truly trusted its new friends, and in secret, they had prepared for exactly this scenario. The Meridians believed they had contained a potential threat, Instead, they had awakened a sleeping giant. Humanity had learned to smile and share with their new alien friends, while building weapons and ships that surpassed even Meridian technology. They had played the long game, appearing to be the perfect students while secretly becoming the masters. As Admiral Rodriguez watched the first wave of Earth's hidden fleet emerge from their concealed bases, he thought of the 50,000 souls lost on Novaterra. "You should have just left us alone," he whispered to the stars. "Now you'll learn why humanity survived every catastrophe our world threw at us. We don't just endure, we prevail." The war for humanity's future was about to begin, and the galaxy would never be the same. Deep within Sira's base, Dr. Yuki Tanaka stood before a massive holographic display showing the full extent of Project Phoenix. The secret facility, carved into the heart of the dwarf planet, housed humanity's greatest technological achievements, ones they had carefully hidden from their Meridian allies. Status report: Admiral Rodriguez's hologram flickered to life beside her. Even across the vast distance between Earth and Ceres, quantum entanglement communication maintained perfect clarity. "The Phoenix fleet is ready," Yuki replied, gesturing to the rows of ships visible through the observation window. Unlike the utilitarian vessels Earth had shown the Meridians, these were sleek predators, their black hulls seeming to absorb light itself. "The quantum phase drives are fully operational. We've completed successful tests on all 500 vessels." The quantum phase drive was humanity's ace in the hole. While pretending to marvel at Meridian technology, Earth scientists had secretly developed a way to shift matter partially out of normal spacetime. The Meridians believed such technology was centuries away from practical application. They were wrong. In the Mars Polar Facility, Commander Sarah Chen, recently promoted after her discovery of the Meridian betrayal, supervised the final assembly of the Nemesis weapon system. "The targeting arrays are perfect," she reported to the Joint Command. "The Meridians won't know what hit them." Nemesis represented another breakthrough kept hidden from alien eyes. By manipulating quantum fields in ways the Meridians had never imagined, these weapons could bypass any known defense system. They didn't need to overpower shields. They simply existed in a slightly different phase of reality until they reached their target. The preparation hadn't just been technological. Captain Miguel Santos led the training of Phoenix Fleet crews in the Jupiter shadow bases. His pilots had spent years practicing with technology that officially didn't exist, running simulations against Meridian combat tactics. "They think they know everything about us," Miguel told his squadron leaders. "They analyzed our ships, our weapons, our tactics, but they only saw what we wanted them to see. Everything they know about human military capability is a carefully crafted illusion." The deception went deeper than anyone outside the highest levels of Earth Command knew. The seemingly primitive quantum sensors humanity had deployed throughout their solar system were actually part of a vast intelligence network. For years, they had been gathering data on Meridian technology, finding weaknesses that the aliens didn't even know they had. Dr. Diana Patel, whose interception of the Meridian attack order had revealed their true nature, now headed the Quantum Intelligence Division. Every time they entered our space, every diplomatic mission, every trade delegation, we were scanning them, analyzing them, learning their vulnerabilities, she explained to the War Council. "The Meridians think they're dealing with a primitive species that barely understands quantum mechanics. In reality, we've mapped their entire command and control network." In a secure facility beneath the Pacific Ocean, Admiral Rodriguez met with the Joint Chiefs of Staff. The holographic display showed the positions of every known Meridian military installation within 500 light-years of Earth. Red dots marked their priority targets. "The Meridians believe their quantum communication network is unbreakable," Rodriguez said. "They don't realize we've been listening to their most secure channels for years. We know their response protocols, their fleet positions, their defensive capabilities. Most importantly, we know they have no idea what's coming." The Admiral's expression was grim as he continued. "They destroyed Novaterra to contain us, to teach us our place in the galaxy. Instead, they've given us exactly the justification we needed to unveil our true capabilities. The Meridian Collective is about to learn that humanity doesn't take kindly to being underestimated. In orbit around Saturn, the first wave of Phoenix Fleet ships began powering up their quantum phase drives. Their black hulls rippled with subtle energy patterns, like oil on water. Captain Lisa Chen, no relation to Sarah, watched her crew perform their final checks. Every person on board knew they were about to make history. "All ships report ready, Captain," her XO announced. Lisa nodded, her expression determined. "Send the coded signal to all Phoenix bases. Operation Retribution begins in 6 hours." Throughout the solar system, humanity's hidden strength emerged from the shadows. Ships that could rewrite the laws of physics, weapons that could strike from between dimensions, and crews trained to fight an enemy who thought they knew all of humanity's capabilities. The Meridians had sought to contain what they saw as a potential threat. In doing so, they had created exactly what they feared: a humanity united in purpose, armed with technologies beyond their understanding, and burning with the desire for justice. As the final countdown began, Admiral Rodriguez sent one last message to the fleet. "Remember Nova Terra. Remember why we fight." The Meridians thought they could teach us our place in the galaxy. Now we will show them exactly what humanity is capable of when pushed too far. The war for humanity's future was about to begin, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. The Meridian Border Station Nexus 7 monitored the quantum fields around human space, its crystalline sensors probing for any sign of military buildup. The station's commander, High Observer Kareth, had just finished her daily report. No unusual activity. Humans still contained within their system, mourning their lost colony. The first indication that something was wrong came when their quantum detection grid simply stopped working. Not damaged, not overwhelmed. It just ceased to exist, as if reality itself had been rewritten in that region of space. Through the station's observation windows, Kareth watched in disbelief as ships seemed to materialize from nowhere, black vessels that rippled like liquid shadow. Their sensors couldn't get a lock on them, couldn't even confirm they truly existed in normal spacetime. "Impossible," she whispered. "They can't have this technology. They can't." The transmission she managed to send to Meridian High Command was cut short as the human vessels opened fire. The weapons didn't impact the station's shields. They simply ignored them completely, arriving as if the defensive barriers weren't there at all. Captain Lisa Chen watched from the bridge of the UES Nemesis as the border station dissolved into quantum particles. First target neutralized. No survivors, no warning sent. Phase 2 is go. Across 50 light-years of space, coordinated strikes began simultaneously. The Phoenix Fleet, moving through quantum space in ways the Meridians had thought impossible, struck key military installations with surgical precision. Quantum phase torpedoes bypassed the most sophisticated alien defenses as if they were paper. In the Meridian capital system, High Admiral Vorthal was attending a cultural exhibition when the alerts began flooding in. Border stations going dark. Defense platforms failing. Entire fleets losing contact. "How?" he demanded, watching the tactical display light up with reports of attacks. Their technology was centuries behind ours. We monitored everything. Dr. Diana Patel's voice came through on all Meridian communication channels, breaking through their supposedly unbreakable encryption. "You monitored what we wanted you to monitor. You saw what we wanted you to see. Now witness what humanity is truly capable of." The second wave of attacks targeted the Meridian's quantum communication network, using technologies developed in secret beneath Europa's ice. Human ships projected fields that didn't just jam communications. They rewrote the quantum states the Meridians relied on for faster-than-light information transfer. Admiral Rodriguez coordinated the assault from the UES Phoenix, humanity's true flagship. "Status report," he commanded. "Phase 1 and 2 complete, sir," his tactical officer reported. 27 key military installations neutralized. Meridian FTL communications are dark across 8 sectors. Their fleets are isolated, unable to coordinate. In the Centauri sector, Commander Sarah Chen led a strike team against one of the Meridian's most secret research facilities. Her ships emerged from quantum space inside the facility's defensive perimeter, something the Meridians had believed physically impossible. "We've recovered their research data," she reported as her teams secured the station, including their plans for additional strikes against human expansion. They were planning to destroy any colony we established, keep us contained forever. The Meridian response, when it came, was fragmented and uncoordinated. Their ships, impressive as they were, found themselves fighting an enemy that could simply choose to exist in a different phase of reality. Traditional weapons and tactics proved useless against vessels that could step sideways through dimensions. Captain Miguel Santos led the defense of Sol system when a desperate Meridian counterattack force arrived. They never even got close to Earth. His squadrons, trained for years in quantum combat tactics, decimated the alien fleet without losing a single ship. Message from the Meridian flagship, his communications officer reported. They're asking how this is possible. Miguel's response was cold. Tell them to ask the ghosts of Nova Terra. In the Meridian capital, panic began to spread. The species that they had dismissed as primitive had somehow mastered technologies that should have been centuries beyond their reach. Worse, they had done it in secret, all while playing the role of the grateful student. Dr. Yuki Tanaka, monitoring quantum communications from Sera's base, detected increasing chaos in Meridian space. Their leadership is fracturing, she reported. Some are calling for immediate surrender. Others want to use their doomsday weapons. They don't realize those weapons won't work anymore. Admiral Rodriguez replied, "We've changed the rules of physics itself. Their technology relies on quantum principles we've learned to rewrite." The first phase of Operation Prometheus had taken less than 24 hours. In that time, humanity had dismantled the military infrastructure of one of the galaxy's most powerful civilizations. The message was clear. Humans were not to be underestimated, contained, or controlled. As the Meridian leadership scrambled to respond to this unprecedented disaster, Admiral Rodriguez prepared for Phase 3. "Send the message to all Meridian worlds," he ordered. "Tell them exactly why this is happening. Tell them about Nova Terra. Tell them what happens when you try to cage humanity." The war had only begun, but already the galaxy was learning a crucial lesson. Humanity's greatest weapon wasn't their advanced technology or military might. It was their ability to smile and play nice while preparing for the worst, and their absolute determination to repay betrayal with overwhelming force. The Grand Assembly of the Galactic Council convened an emergency session. Representatives from 200 spacefaring civilizations gathered in the ancient chamber on neutral ground, their voices a cacophony of fear and confusion. The Meridian seats stood conspicuously empty. Ambassador Elena Torres, Earth's first representative to the Council, stood calmly at the podium. Behind her diplomatic composure lay steel. She had lost family on Nova Terra. For decades, humanity extended the hand of friendship. She began, her voice carrying across the chamber. "We shared our art, our music, our literature. We celebrated our differences and embraced cultural exchange. And how did the Meridian Collective respond? By murdering 50,000 innocent colonists." The holographic display above the chamber showed the destruction of Nova Terra, recovered from quantum records. The assembled representatives watched in horror as the colony vanished in a quantum cascade. The Meridians claimed this was an accident. Elena continued, "They lied. We have proof of their deliberate action, their calculated decision to contain humanity's growth. They saw our rapid advancement as a threat, and in trying to contain us, they created exactly what they feared." In Meridian space, the war continued. Captain Lisa Chen's task force struck the shipyards of Meridian Prime, their quantum phase drives allowing them to appear directly inside the massive construction facilities. "Target their production capabilities only," she ordered. Minimal casualties. We're not here for revenge. We're here to remove their ability to threaten us again. The Meridian ships in dock never had a chance to react. Quantum torpedoes phased through their hulls, destroying vital systems while leaving crew quarters untouched. Within hours, the greatest shipbuilding facility in the sector was reduced to drifting debris. Dr. Diana Patel's intelligence division intercepted desperate communications between Meridian worlds. Their carefully constructed hierarchy was collapsing as subordinate species within the collective began questioning their leaders' decisions. The humans weren't supposed to be capable of this. One message read, "Everything we knew about their technology was wrong. What else have we been wrong about?" Admiral Rodriguez monitored the strategic display from the UES Phoenix. Green indicators showed human fleet positions, advancing methodically through Meridian space. Red markers indicating Meridian military assets were becoming increasingly scarce. Message from the Arcadian Empire. "Sir," his communications officer reported. "They're offering to mediate peace talks. Several other major powers are joining the offer." The Arcadians were one of the oldest civilizations in known space. Their interest represented a significant shift in the galactic political landscape. Humanity, dismissed as primitives just weeks ago, was now being treated as a major power. In the debris field that had once been a Meridian defense station, Commander Sarah Chen's research team made a disturbing discovery. They were developing weapons to target human genetics specifically, she reported to Earth Command. They planned to sterilize our entire species if we became too advanced. The revelation sent shockwaves through the galactic community. The Meridian Collective had presented itself as a benevolent alliance of advanced civilizations. Now their true nature, ruthless imperialism hidden behind a mask of cultural exchange, was exposed. Captain Miguel Santos led a diplomatic mission to the Helix Confederation, another major power that had been watching the conflict with increasing concern. His ships arrived in perfect formation, their quantum phase drives active, a subtle demonstration of human capabilities. "We don't seek conquest," he told the Helix leadership. "We don't want to dominate or control. We simply want what every species wants, the right to grow, to explore, to reach our full potential without fear of extinction, because we advanced too quickly." The Helix representatives, insectoid beings known for their logical approach, found humanity's position compelling. Other species began reaching similar conclusions. The Meridians' actions had violated not just laws, but fundamental principles of galactic civilization. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's quantum sensors detected increasing activity in unexplored regions of space. "Other powers are mobilizing," she reported. "Not against us. They're moving to contain any possible Meridian counterattack. They're choosing sides." In the Galactic Council chamber, Ambassador Torres delivered humanity's terms. The Meridian leadership will stand trial for their crimes. Their military capabilities will be reduced and monitored. Their subject species will be given independence, and humanity will take its place as a full member of the galactic community, not as students to be guided, but as equals to be respected. The Council's approval was nearly unanimous. Species that had ignored humanity now sought diplomatic relations. Trade agreements were proposed. Cultural exchange programs, real ones this time, were suggested. Admiral Rodriguez watched the diplomatic feeds with cautious satisfaction. "They finally understand," he told his staff. "Humanity doesn't want war. We don't want revenge. We want what we've always wanted, to explore, to learn, to grow. But we will never again allow anyone to decide they know what's best for our species." The galaxy was changing. The old order, based on age and accumulated power, was giving way to something new. Humanity had proven that innovation and determination could overcome even the most established advantages. As the Phoenix fleet secured another sector of former Meridian space, the message was clear. The era of treating younger species as children to be controlled was over. The galaxy would never be the same, and perhaps that was exactly what it needed. The crystalline spires of New Nova Terra rose against an alien sunset, a monument to both remembrance and renewal. On the very spot where the Meridians had destroyed humanity's first extrasolar colony, a new city stood, one built with technology that would have seemed like magic just months ago. Admiral Rodriguez stood at the observation window of the diplomatic center, watching ships from 24 species arrive for the signing of the Galactic Concordat. Among them were vessels from former Meridian subject races, now free to chart their own destiny. "Quite a view," Dr. Sarah Chen said, joining him. Her quantum detection array, the one that had first spotted the Meridians approaching Earth, now formed the basis of a new early warning network shared by all peaceful species. "Hard to believe it's only been 6 months," Rodriguez replied. "Sometimes I wonder if we went too far." "They gave us no choice," Sarah reminded him. "The Novaterra records proved they planned to systematically destroy any human colony that showed too much progress. We didn't just fight for revenge. We fought for our right to exist." In orbit, Captain Lisa Chen's UES Nemesis led the honor guard of ships from Earth's Phoenix fleet. Their black hulls no longer inspired fear. Instead, they represented humanity's commitment to defending younger civilizations against the kind of oppression they had faced. The last Meridian holdouts had surrendered 2 weeks ago, after their attempt to use a forbidden quantum weapon backfired catastrophically. Dr. Yuki Tanaka's team had not only predicted the attempt but had developed countermeasures that turned the weapon's energy back on itself. Inside the diplomatic center, Ambassador Elena Torres prepared for the ceremony that would reshape galactic civilization. The document before her, the product of intense negotiation, established new principles for interspecies relations. "The age of any civilization shall no longer determine its rights," she read from the preamble. "No species shall be restricted from advancing by another. The strong shall not prey upon the weak. We go forward together, or not at all." Dr. Diana Patel's quantum intelligence network had been transformed into an open information sharing system. "Knowledge should unite us, not divide us," she told the assembled delegates. "The Meridians hoarded technology to maintain power. We choose a different path." The former Meridian leadership, those who had survived, watched from their detention facility as their empire was formally dissolved. High Admiral Vorthal, once the architect of the plan to contain humanity, had finally understood their fatal mistake. "We thought we were protecting the galaxy from a potentially dangerous species," he told his interrogators. "Instead, we nearly destroyed ourselves by attacking the one race that could have helped us grow beyond our limitations." Captain Miguel Santos led the honor guard as representatives from 200 species signed the Concordat. His ships, once weapons of war, now served as a reminder of why the new agreements were necessary. "The quantum phase drive is no longer a secret," he explained to a group of younger race representatives. "Under the Concordat, any species that demonstrates responsible development will have access to this technology. We advance together." Commander Sarah Chen had been given a new mission, leading the joint scientific expedition into unexplored space. Her crew included members of 15 different species, including some former Meridians who had opposed their leadership's decisions. "We learned something vital from this conflict," she told her diverse crew. "The galaxy is too vast, too wonderful, and too dangerous for any species to face alone. Our strength lies not in containing each other, but in working together." The signing ceremony reached its conclusion. Ambassador Torres pressed her palm to the quantum lock document, adding Earth's signature to the agreement. The Galactic Concordat was now law, enforced not by any one species but by the united will of all. In the ruins of Novaterra's original colony, now preserved as a memorial, Dr. Yuki Tanaka activated a quantum field that would ensure the site remained unchanged for millennia. The names of the 50,000 victims were encoded into the fabric of space-time itself. "We remember," she said softly, "not to sustain anger, but to ensure such things never happen again." Admiral Rodriguez made the final entry in his war diary. "Today marks not just the end of a conflict, but the beginning of something greater. Humanity fought not for dominance, but for the right of all species to reach for the stars without fear. We won not just with superior technology or military might, but with the one force the Meridians never understood: the human ability to turn adversity into opportunity, to forge unity from conflict, to rise stronger from attempts to break us. As the sun set on New Novaterra, ships from across the galaxy lit up the sky with quantum field displays, a celebration of peace, of progress, and of the limitless potential that lay ahead. Humanity had entered the galactic stage as students, survived as warriors, and emerged as teachers. The galaxy had learned its lesson. Humanity had taught it well.